Oh,
Hey! Good morning, Giants.
good morning. How's everybody doing? I can't even see. I don't know if I'll be able to see comments, but
It's probably for the better.
I can imagine.
You guys look terrible.
Yeah.
We just nod and laugh because we
Yeah,
can't see comments.
it's probably true. It's probably true.
Hopefully, they just accept us for the way we are.
Yeah. They're like, you look like homeless people. That's something my daughter would say. And like adopted.
You're adopted. Oh, yes, I was.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah, so acceptance. Let's talk about being acceptable. Being acceptable. Just the way you are. Just the way you are. And
Mm,
there's something like that.
something, no.
There is now. I just
Yes,
made
there
it
is.
up.
There really is.
Yeah, being acceptable just the way you are. I'm just trying to see what that word even means to accept, to accept. And and honestly, I just looked it up just before going live here. But it means to admit, like going into a movie, to accept, to receive in a way, to put forward. And so the person that we kind of put out into the world, that person, um, for others to accept that, we tend to want others to be agreeable with who we are on the inside, but then we have a hard time showing that. So people don't really know who we are on the inside. So we put up this other thing so that that would be agreeable. And then they're surprised and we're surprised that they don't like us for who we are when we're not being who we really are on the inside. And it seems a little bit convoluted and messy, you know? But yeah, go ahead.
Now I don't even know who I am anymore.
Yeah, I don't even know who am I?
Who am
Well,
I?
so there are things that we do. We don't really hold true to who we are on the inside because we're afraid that others might not accept that.
Yeah.
And so, and it's not. See, I keep hearing people say, and maybe they don't mean it this way. You need to accept me just the way I am, but they have no regard for how that might impact others. So
Hmm.
you might be a really negative person on the inside, and you just need to accept me because I'm a negative person. Well, the truth is that somebody might be okay with that, and so that acceptability, uh, it really is. It's within us to accept ourselves first.
Hmm.
And then when we do that, somebody else can align with that. It's not that they need to accept us or approve of us, they can just align with who we are being. And if you're
Yeah,
not,
that's interesting. Yeah.
sorry, yeah, go ahead, go with your
No,
thought
I was
there.
just thinking that that exact thing right there is that you know is you will align with the people that that you align with. So if you want to be you know into like drugs and alcohol and things like that, you're probably going to attract people that are into drugs and alcohol. You want to align with giants and you know good people, then you'll probably be surrounded by that kind of people.
But it all starts within you. Like, what do you want? Because when you're true to what you want, then it allows people to align with that. Uh,
Hmm.
I don't know. Maybe somebody is true to the fact that they do want to, you know, be around negative people or abusive people or things like that, and maybe that works for them. But I don't know if that's where I want to go with that, other than the idea that when you hold true to who you are, um, you start to show up differently in the world, and that makes an impact, and others start to see that and experience that. And it's not like you can hide who you are for too long,
Hmm.
especially if you get into a relationship. It's going to come up. People are going to see you just the way you are. Um, if there's any authenticity in that, then it's really hard for them to align and connect with it because there's this flip floppery, this Mitt Romneyism.
The flip floppery. Huh.
Mean to throw you under the bus, but I did in a way. You go back and forth on who you are, and you can't choose sides because you're choosing every side. So you'll just be anything anybody wants you to be. But in that, you lose who you are. You lose your purpose. You can't really align with your purpose. Yeah, if you're performing, it's like an actor. I mean, we think we connect with actors, but we connect with who the actors are being in the movies, right?
We're terrible actors.
this, this show is like, it's a rough start, but
And
we just,
a rough middle, and sometimes a rough ending.
it'll end and everybody will be like, I have no idea what these guys are doing.
Just happened. What did I see?
But I hope you accept us.
Or not.
So think about that performance, right? We want people to approve of us, and so we put on a show. And so what you see on Facebook is maybe different from who you are on the inside, but you want to put up the show. And so people come and interact with that show, and then after a while, they're like, I don't really feel a connection to that person. There's something missing. I can't pinpoint it. I can't feel it. I can feel it. I just don't know what it is. But there's something off, and you start to realize that something's out of alignment. And so the goal here is for you, who you are, to show up fully. And then when you do that, it allows others to show up fully around you. You know?
This is all this is happening without caffeine.
We're doing our best. I hope you'll accept that.
This train wreck is happening naturally.
Yeah, we don't have to do anything to show up as a train wreck. But that's the beauty of it. It's like it either works for you or it doesn't. But our shows, we don't put on a show to have it appear a certain way so that you'll approve of it. We do a show to be of service, and it turns out however it turns out.
Yeah, if we were gonna do a show,
Yeah.
I would like straighten the I don't know, the curtain a little bit. It's a little, yeah.
See, I would put on my very best paisley shirt, button up, paisley,
and pants,
and I'd throw on some pants. But where the good news about Facebook is it's from the waist up. That is a good thing for everybody here.
You're pretty awesome from the waist up, Nick Smith.
Yes, thank you. My best feature from the waist up.
Wouldn't that be a weird show? You're called the waist down.
No,
no, that would be a bad show.
Don't go there. I wouldn't accept that. It would be like the worst parts of Sesame Street, like Gonzo, Gonzo show. but
Good thing we're not.
Yeah. Well, so when people show up authentically, you can decide how you're going to interact with them, and if you can accept them. Because if they're putting on a show, you don't know fully if you can accept that person.
Yeah.
Right. Like I want to be around people who show up authentically. And when they show up authentically, I get to decide whether that aligns for me or not, whether that works for me or not. But when they show up as a performance, then I'm interacting with a superficial thing. I know people like that they will be whatever you want them to be, but you don't know who they're going to be because they go back and forth. Mm-hmm. They'll be one thing for one person, another thing for another person. And that's really hard to connect with. And I have my people who have their weirdness just like me that I can connect with because, hey, we're all weird together in our own weird way. It's like we're not quite LARPers, but we're on the verge of. And maybe I would try that out. Maybe that would work for me.
I like, you know what I like? I like it. I'm working on being more open to accepting others where they're at, and then helping them to move to a more authentic place, or move to, move through on their giant's journey.
Hmm.
Because I can realize that other people aren't where I'm at, and I
Yeah.
try not to just like push those people aside, but to look at them and say, okay, look, there's some, it's obvious they need some, some work, and I need to work on myself too to be a more open and accepting
Yeah,
person.
that's huge right there. I like that. That applies to people, that applies to life. Like we want to push away from, we don't want to accept life the way that it is, or people that the way that they are. We want them to be different for us to approve of that, or to be in agreement with that. Like just because you accept something doesn't mean you agree with it. You can
Right.
accept that somebody's doing drugs and alcohol, and you can accept that that is what it is. Um, you might not agree with that, but you can accept it. It is what it is because it is what it is.
Hmm.
So, or they are who they are.
And I can allow certain aspects into my space. I can decide, what I do accept and what I don't, and what I agree with and what I don't agree with. And that's the beauty of it all, is that you can choose, But I'm working on, that's personally just my goal, is to work on being more open and accepting to others, and understanding where they're at in their giant's journey.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I like that. I think the more acceptable you become for yourself too, like when you
mm,
accept yourself, others can start to accept you. When you're okay with who you are, then you can start to show up in whatever you're creating. Like
yeah.
I remember trading off certain things that I wanted to do because I wanted to please somebody else. And then in that pleasing somebody else, I lost my identity in a way. I became the identity of pleasing that person. And so, oh, I love it. Yeah, just accepting who you are. Um, when you can do that, then others can do that because you're showing up authentically when you are who you are. It's not that you can't change certain aspects. It's just that you get to show up fully, and you get to work on things that matter to you. And then inside of that, people will align with that or they won't. They'll
Hmm.
diverge. My relationship ended because we grew different. We grew in different directions. We were different people. And now looking back, I don't know that I could ever be back in that relationship because she's being authentically who she wants to be, and I'm being who I want to be, and they're different people. It doesn't align anymore, and it's okay. Like it's acceptable that there's a difference there because it allows me to make a decision and move forward. And her,
Excellent.
right? Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, what else can we ramble on about?
I don't know. I'm just grateful that 4 people made it through.
That's right, guys. Did our best show. But
uh,
we will wake up eventually.
we love you guys. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
seriously. Well,
Go make
thanks.
it
Yeah,
a giant day.
make it a giant day and be you. Be
Go,
authentically you.
go be all of you.
Cool. Hey,
Okay.
guys. See you in the next episode. Make it a great day.
Love you too.